Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Kumar and this is my YouTube channel called World of Data. So today we're going to talk about how to convert ER diagrams to schemas. So let's get to it. So basically, as you recall from the previous video, this is the ER diagram that we had designed. Now there are 5 basic rules for converting an ER diagram into a schema. Let me show you what it is. So the first rule is mapping of regular entity types. So it basically states that for each regular entity type, create a table that includes all the simple attributes of that entity. So now we know that there are 3 entities: branch, client and employee. Now we add the attributes of each entity into the schema. So this is how it should look. Employee, branch and client. Employee contains employee ID, first name, last name. We've already directly gone to first name and last name so that we don't have to derive it from name itself. Also consists of birth date, salary, sex and employee ID. So this is all it contains. Even branch contains branch ID, branch name, the manager start date. Client contains client ID and client name. I'll show you how the foreign keys fit into this picture in a while. Next is mapping of weak entity types. So for each weak entity type, create a table that includes all simple attributes of the weak entity. The primary key of the new relation should be the partial key of the weak entity plus the primary key of its owner. So as we know that from the previous video, that branch supplier was the weak entity and this was the relationship. So branch supplier is another table that we have to create, and it should include branch ID, supplier name and supply type. So we have supplier name and supplier type here, and since it's connected to branch, we should also include branch ID. The next step is mapping of binary 1:1 relationships. So include one side of all the relationship as a foreign key in the other. We have to favor the total participation, that is the double line side. So now we know that only there's 1:1 participation here, that is manages. So a branch manages employee, employee manages the branch. That is a 1:1 relationship. So now we add the manager ID under branch table. We have changed the employee ID into manager ID because this manages the branch, this person, manager ID. Step 3 is mapping of binary 1:n relationships. So we have to include the one side primary key as a foreign key on the n side. So now there is one here, handles, then there's supervision and there's works for. So here 1:n relationship for works for is that the employee, any number of employees work for a branch, but a branch makes only one employee work for it. It says that one side becomes the primary key, the primary key becomes a foreign key, so branch ID becomes a foreign key for employee. So as you can see, we have added branch ID as a foreign key. Now going to the next one, here again branch ID becomes a foreign key for client. So you can see branch ID here too. Now under supervision, since it's coming under employee, we add the employee ID but we put it in the form of supervisor ID. So here it's super ID as the foreign key. The next one, the final one, is mapping of binary MS2N relationship types, that is this one here, works with. So let's create we have to create a new relation whose primary key is a combination of both the entities primary keys. So we have to also include any other relationship attributes. So client and employee go through an NS to M relationship. So we add under a separate table called works with or works on, we add the client ID and employee ID as both the primary keys, constructing it into a composite key or a compound key together, and then we also put up total sales over here. So finally it works on has employee ID, client ID as primary keys, and then total sales as an attribute key. So that's how you construct a schema. I hope you guys understood this video. It's pretty simple if you guys get the basic foundation of it. So I hope you guys have learned how to construct schemas and ER diagrams from these videos. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.